Now let's talk about the osteology of the hand. This is the most distal part in the upper limb. As you can see, this is my left hand. All right. Osteology of the hand can be divided into this area that is called the carpal bones. They are 8 in numbers, the carpal bones. Then the metacarpal bones, they are 5 in numbers. And then the phalanges, they are 14 in number. 3 phalanges for each finger, except for the first one, the thumb. It has got 2 phalanges. Okay. Again, carpal bones, metacarpal bones, and the phalanges. Okay. Regarding the carpal bones, they are found in 2 rows. This one is the proximal row, and it is composed of 4 bones, while this one is the distal row, and it is composed of 4 bones. Regarding orientation of the bones from lateral to medial, in the proximal row, we will start by scaphoid bone, lunate bone, triquetral bone, and pisiform. Again, the proximal row of the carpal bones: scaphoid, lunate, triquetral, and pisiform. The distal row, again from lateral to medial: trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, and hamate. Okay. Few words about the carpal bones. The first one in the proximal row is the scaphoid. Scaphoid bone is one of the 2 bones that articulate in the wrist joint, the scaphoid and the lunate. As you can see, it articulates medially with the lunate and distally with the trapezium and the trapezoid, and partially with the capitate. The scaphoid is the most commonly fractured bone of the carpal bones, and when it gets fractured, it's prone to a vascular necrosis if the fractured area is in the waist. Okay. The next bone is the lunate bone. The lunate bone is the bone that most commonly dislocate, and it dislocates anteriorly. Okay. Regarding this bone is the capitate, which is the biggest of the carpal bones. This bone, the most medial one of the distal row, is the hamate, and as you can see, there is this hook of the hamate. Okay. Okay. This is hook of the hamate. The ulnar, the deep branch of the ulnar nerve is related to this hook of the hamate. Okay. All right. So those are the carpal bones. The bones, the sets of bones above it, is called the metacarpal bones. Regarding naming them, this is the first metacarpal, second metacarpal, third, fourth, and the fifth metacarpal bones. Okay. The first metacarpal articulate with the trapezium, the second articulate with the trapezoid, the third articulate with the capitate, the fifth articulate with the hamate, and the fourth articulate with both the capitate and the hamate bone. Okay. Each one of the metacarpal bones composed of a base, shaft, and heads. The heads articulate with the phalanx at the metacarpopharyngeal joints, and the heads of the metacarpal bones forms the knuckles of the fist. Those are the heads of the metacarpal bones. Again, we forgot to mention the joints between the proximal and the distal row of the carpal bones is called the midcarpal joints, and the joint between one of the carpal bones and the other is called intercarpal joints, while this joint is called carbo-metacarpal joint. This is carbo-metacarpal joint. Okay, carbo-metacarpal joint. Okay. Regarding the phalanges, again, as we said, they are 14 in number. It's composed of the proximal phalanx, in this one, proximal phalanx, middle phalanx, and the distal phalanx. Okay, except for the thumb, it has got only 2 phalanges, proximal and distal, no intermediate. So the total phalanges number is 14. The phalanges are separated by proximal interphalangeal joint and distal interphalangeal joint. The proximal interphalangeal joint between the proximal phalanges and the intermediate, and the distal interphalangeal joint between the intermediate and the distal phalanges. Okay, again, the phalanges are composed of a base and a head. Again, base and a head. Okay, this is the anterior surface of the hand. Again, this is the posterior surface of the hand. Same bones, same features. By this, we came to the end of our osteology. Again, don't worry, we have said a lot of information, a lot of muscles that you don't know yet, but don't worry, we will see each of the before mentioned muscles in its corresponding practical. Okay, thank you.